The ego mind is a complete misinterpretation of what is taking place. Anything that's given meaning, is an assumption. It is something that's trying to quantify, trying to come to terms with, trying to feel relieved about that we have discovered something from this that has taken place. So we will give it a word, an identity, we'll give it meaning. And then each one that has different versions of that experience, of that state of mind, of that moment, can change the meaning. Therefore, it's not an actual fact interpretation of what is taking place. It is guesswork, it is assumptions, it is based on individual experience through a sensory or emotive body that is personal to you. So anyone that writes a meaning of a word in any dictionary or anything is guilty of nullifying the remnants of the population, that those who don't get the opportunity to discover their own individual meaning for themselves without looking up to say, well, okay, rather than try and define the meaning that I had in this experience, I'll just settle for looking up the dictionary and find the closest reflective possibility to that what I experienced. It appears to be that peace is very easy to get out of peace. But it's not so easy to find peace. And you can look at it as a personal thing, your own individual peace, or you can look at it as a worldly thing, war and peace. It is very easy to create war, but it's not so easy to create peace. Is that not a different meaning of that peace? If you look at it personally, it's very easy to get out of peace, but it's not so easy to find peace. It's a whole misinterpretation. It's not easy to get out of peace. No one can get out of peace, your own life, consciousness, godly, spiritual peace that exists is the only thing that exists. So how can you get out of that what is existing in you? That is the core of your existence. How can you get out of peace? How can you get out of silence? You can create a mask to suggest there is something out of this peace, out of this silence. We can create a mind to say, okay, let's get us out of this peace, out of this silence. Take us on a journey, take us on fantasies, ideas, imaginations. Give our body sensory, emotive, systematic devices so that we can experience being out of peace. And that's the whole object of mind. To keep itself moving, to keep itself unstable, to keep itself out of that what it feels. The infinite peace that it plays no part in. Mind plays no part in your personal peace. So to make a word up or an assumption of what is taking place is again an inaccurate way of describing that what is taking place. We are so stupid that we create words and meanings for everything, and everything that we create words and meanings for is the same thing. Life, peace, love. We try and enhance peace by looking for peace. And then we can't find peace because we've created so much mind, so much noise, that we believe now that we are the mind, that we are out of peace. And therefore we cannot get out of it, just as much as we cannot get in it. But there's nothing taking place. There's just a mind masking that what you truly are. In the war piece, in the game of war, it's very easy to create a war. Not so easy to create peace. Mind cannot abide peace. What do you call these military people, governments and all these? They cannot abide peace. If there's peace, there's nothing happening. If there's nothing happening, they're going to get found out. They're not doing anything. We should be doing something. We should be acting. We should be taking on roles. We should be, if we can't do this, we have to go into the universe and become scientists and try and invade and try and upset and become that aliens that we fear so much. We have now become the aliens going into other domains that we're not part of. Yet we blame the aliens that we fear. It's our own spaceships. They're not unidentified. They're British. They're human spaceships that we have put in that has been lost and got confused and landed in the atmosphere, and we say, oh, it's aliens. We're our own worst enemy because we have a mind that egoistically wants power. We want to overcome the whole universe. We want to rule every planet. We want to explore every planet. We want to discover consciousness, and God will not allow this one. God will not reveal the consciousness that exists within us all to those who conspire and will use it to write books and make money and utilize other people to try and get more, to try and convince they have to be more giving to a society so that we can create more spaceships, create more wars, create more disharmony, because we are very uncomfortable with the peace that exists within us. It's an inability to accept yourself as what you are. Endless peace that makes the mind more active and makes it more determined to create more disharmony, wars. It's a illness. It's a sickening illness for the mind, that it cannot overcome a simple joy in being here. I don't want to enjoy being here. I want to really explore what is out here. I'm going to use this body not as I'm supposed to use this body, but I'm going to use this body as a mind, as an ego, to try and create so much disharmony. But in my heart, I believe I'm doing the best. And they are. The one inside is doing its best to try and overcome the mind. It doesn't want to explore and discover and become an alien. It doesn't want, but it feels no other obligation, nothing else to do, because it's far easier to do that than to face up to my true self. It's far easier to turn away from myself and cast a spell on the world. It's far easier to blame others. It's far easier to blame than to simply come back into my own self, because I have so much guilt, so much shame, that I don't know if myself will accept me as I am. The only words that are not misinterpreted are I am, I exist. That's all I know. That's all this speaker knows. It can blab, it can make videos, it can utter, it can squabble, it can give positive and negative information, it can give entertainment, but these are just noise from the peace that I am. And in this I amness, I absolutely know nothing about peace. I know nothing about war. I know nothing about humans. I know nothing about the universe and space. I know nothing about what is taking place in this body and anything that's taking place outside of this body. I am a fool that is free from knowing, free from noise. Peace is all that exists. Silence. That's all. What else do you want? What else does your mind want? What does it want to participate in? What does it want to run away from? Always looking for ideas and concepts, how to get out of facing myself. Always dreaming other possibilities rather than face up to myself. Always running away from life. Looking for death because it's easier than facing up to myself. Always taking chances. Putting the body in positions of pain and pleasure because it's easier than facing up to myself. Who is it that faces up to themselves? Who is this I that faces up to the I that is within? The I of consciousness. The I of God. The I of the tiger. Who can face up to the tiger within you? No, I think I'll just go and become an alien. It's far more easier to build a spaceship and pretend that I'm doing something good for the world. I'm always pretending I'm doing something good for the world. I'm always pretending that I'm doing something for... Please help me, please help me, please, please, please. Tell me I'm okay. Tell me I'm doing the right thing. Because I'm terrified to face up to myself. Face up to yourself and be relieved that you won't be forgiven. There's nothing to forgive. You're just a lost soul, scurrying about the universe, scurrying about the world, scurrying about your job, scurrying about life, scurrying about the hills, always running away looking for things that have meaning, always misinterpreting that the meaning is assumption out here. It's an assumed world, a made-up world of words and identities and colours and shapes and measurements and energies and qualities and vibrations and sizes. A judging world out here, and the judge will never be 100% sure out there. The judge doesn't have to be 100% about myself. I'm never anything but 100% peace.